Mark has become obsessed with chess.
Yeah. Because of you. This is your fault.
Sorry.
Yes, you've got it.
You'll have to handle some of the divorce with my wife. You'll have to pay.
Yeah.
Is it getting there?
Oh my goodness. I mean, she'll just wake up at 2 a.m. She's like, what are you doing? And I'll just point it over and keep playing.
Chess is like that. It gets you. It
All
gets you.
consuming.
I think he's getting the bug, dude. I think you gave Schulz the bug a little bit.
I mean, it is fun. It is very fun. I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things. It's like there's a lot of layers to the onion. So I'm like, oh God, if I get obsessed with this, like, do I have enough time in my day to be obsessed with another thing? The beauty is that
it fills the gaps. It's the water in the jar. You know, like it just fills in everything else. So you're just
what do you do when you poop?
I scroll Instagram. And just look at
But imagine you played a little blitz game. Oh, nothing better.
And like 2 more.
Yeah.
And then 2 more. That's the problem.
Maybe you get hemorrhoids.
Now we're talking.
Now
I get those.
Now you're just like destroying some guy in like a third world country. Just like, take that. You know what I mean?
It does have brain benefits. It also, it depends like what kind of a person you are. If you're a bad loser, if you're a bad student, if you're not good at analyzing your own weaknesses.
Mistakes,
But I know you got into paddle, so
love paddle.
me too. I played it in Spain 2 years ago and I'm completely obsessed. But it's the same thing. Like if you really enjoy something and you want to get better at it, it does extend to other parts of life. I'm also talking to the people that are going to listen to this. Like, it'll show you how to be a good student in anything, really.
The problem with me is that like I actually really enjoy the learning process.
Yeah.
So like I take lessons in paddle.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have another thing that I'm taking lessons at, and I'm gonna have to tell my wife.
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna have to look after both of these kids.
Yeah.
While you're breastfeeding and losing your hair.
Yeah.
Because I have to learn a new opening.
That's
I need to learn a new opening.
Well, you can teach your daughter too, though. Right?
That is true.
And our pal Levy just wrote a little book on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't. It wasn't the goal, but yeah, I mean.
No, we need to plug the book. Come on.
Chess for it's chess for babies, but
and that's you and your daughter in this case.
That's
there
true.
is a bonus link that's like this is kind of for the parent that also wants to get into it. I mean, it's been my thing for I was in college here in New York.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Baruch.
I went to Baruch High School.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, I don't know if they're related. I don't know if they're one's a feeder.
We just couldn't afford a real room, so they put us in a college.
I couldn't afford a real college, so I went to Baruch.
Fair enough.
And I was doing like a stats degree, and I started teaching chess while in college. So I basically got started teaching kids who were 5 and 6 years old. And if you can convince them chess is important, when COVID started, I was like, maybe I can make YouTube videos. Maybe people will watch. To this day, I wonder. I can't believe people find this interesting because chess is boring.
I hit up Mark, I think this is a few days ago. I'm watching videos of you call games that are like famous games that have like happened throughout history. We're talking about not games that are like recent history. This could be fucking in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, and people have documented every move of these games. Yeah. And then you're doing like the play-by-play. And I text Mark and I'm just like, I don't know how, but I am mesmerized watching him explain what happened in these chess matches. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I know there are people watching right now who don't care about chess that are like, there's no way that's possible. Just go to his YouTube page and watch this match. It's what was it? It's called
controversial.
The most notorious chess player of all time. 2 weeks ago you posted this, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, I was disappointed. It didn't do very well.
Yeah, fucking 300,000 views.
It was my
match.
Bombing, complete failure.
Printing money. But yeah, so I don't know why it's so interesting. And like, there's a lot I want to talk about. I want to talk about the butt plug controversy. I want to talk about like rise of chess. I'm sure Mark has a million things he wants to talk about as well. But so I watched this Chessmates documentary on Netflix that I'm sure everybody, where there's this Hans Niemann character who somehow miraculously, rises to the top of the chess world, beats Magnus. Magnus then said Magnus Carlsen is the number one ever, I think.
Basically.
And then Magnus basically alleges, without saying anything, that he's cheating.
Yeah.
What do you think was happening?
I think...
Are you allowed to say, or is there like political shit you're not allowed to say?
No. I mean, I can share. I've shared it in videos too. I think basically the synopsis, that documentary is fantastic if you didn't follow it at the time. It's a good synopsis, but there's definitely details left out. I have a theory. It took them 4 years to publish it because it came out in 2022. They needed a crescendo. They needed kind of like the grand moment. And in Paris, which is kind of where it ends, 2 years later in 2024, Magnus and Hans play for the first time sort of since the scandal. I remember I was nervous. I was there. I was interviewing both of them. I have a famous interview with Hans where it just goes completely off the rails, which was not in the documentary.
Well, what happens? What did you say?
He just basically, he goes into a spiel. It's called Explosive Hans Niemann Interview. He goes into a whole thing about how I'm a chess.com puppet. Chess.com controls the narrative. He tried to come at me, and then it was a whole thing. And he ended up losing. He ended up losing to Magnus.
Badly or played
pretty badly, but like convincingly. But I think they waited so long because they wanted him to win. Because ultimately, if the guy who's accused of cheating wins, and
it validates everything.
Yeah, it validates a lot of things. He's had his opportunities to beat Hans to beat Magnus since this interview. He's never actually beaten him. Like, they played in the World Blitz Championship, speed chess. Hans won one of the first 4 games. It's a best of 4.
This is recently?
Yeah, it was 2024. So Hans took the lead. 1.5. He won a game. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to beat Magnus in the quarterfinal. Magnus 2 games back-to-back wins. And then he like slams the king on the board. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this chess needs this shit.
That's the thing that I hope people will kind of understand is there. I think when you see just an Instagram clip and you see like some guy like crying, he's like an Indian guy crying, or like there was the Asian guy who gets beaten by the Indian kid.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
That sounds like every
chess match. But this was a big one. This was like, I forget exactly. Anyway.
Cash, I think.
Yeah.
Cash.
Ding Loren is like, in tears. And
yes. Yeah. Anyway, so like you see the moment, you're like, oh, why is there so much passion behind it? I'm telling you, you either watch this documentary, you start watch some of his videos, and it just changes everything. It turns into like Formula One or some shit. I don't know how else.
I love it, and I think what makes it great for me is that I'm not faking. Like, ultimately, I love the sport. I love following all the tournaments, even the tournaments nobody's really watching, just because I'm curious to see what openings are being played, what players are on the rise, and I love it, and I just present it. I don't scream as much like on the street when I order coffee, but as far as this scandal, I think the summary is this: Hans has always been a really brash like kid. He reminded me of me, just to a whole nother level. And then he's always like he's kind of this a little bit arrogant, a little bit in your face, like very, very aggressively extroverted, very smart. And I think there were rumors already before he beat Magnus, like, this dude cheated online.
But he did.
Yes, because chess.com published that. It wasn't public then. So have other people, like, but they're not they don't have the same personality as Hans. Hans is very unapologetic. So you almost get the sense like he doesn't take any, like, he doesn't believe that he did anything wrong. And I actually asked him in this interview, like, you could have just been like, hey man, I cheated. I'm really sorry. I've never cheated over the board. One famous example, Chael Sonnen, right? Like, he did PEDs. He's like proud of it. He's just like, what do you mean? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
I think people still to this day don't trust Hans. They will never trust Hans. We're sitting here, right? And Hans is playing now one-on-one matches against people.
Because he can't play on chess.com.
No, he can, but he doesn't get invited to tournaments. Because if you're going to invite people to a tournament and you're like a really strong player, you're like, I don't want him there. I don't trust him.
Right.
And then they're going to listen to that. Mm-hmm. And so he's playing these one-on-one matches because I don't think people will ever fully trust him just because of the way he is, combined with the fact that, like, he cheated when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like he's, like, sorry for it. Like, which is...
But does he have the level?
Yeah, it seems like right now he's probably like a top 15, 20 player in the world.
Oh.
Yeah. He got there. And in speed chess, probably top 10.
And that's the thing that I actually really like about Hans. I know he's controversial in the chess world, but as a casual chess fan, he brings an energy to the game.
You need a villain.
That makes me want, like, it's kind of like McGregor-esque, where it's like...
Or Floyd-esque.
Like, he's talking shit, he's arrogant, he's just putting this energy into the game that I'm sure if I was a competitor and I played 30 years, like, from the Soviet Union, and I played, like, the super strict game, and I'm playing against this kid, I'd be a little annoyed. But as a fan, I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
I mean, you watch wrestling at all, like WWE?
A little bit, but nowhere near as much as UFC.
So, like, the heel character is almost notoriously defined by the heel because he cheats.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And the worse the heel is, the more beloved the baby face is.
So you need the heel to have a baby face.
Like, I like Magnus more seeing him beat Hans in that tournament, because I'm like, oh, wow, like, even with everything against Magnus, he still prevailed. Even against, like, all the allegations and the drama, he still achieved it.
Like, in WWE, the heel is the moneymaker. And it's not the moneymaker because like they make all the money, but without the heel, you don't have the baby face that we're all rooting for. And that is the expression that we want to see, right? It's like we want to see the David versus Goliath. We want to see the guy who can possibly beat him. And so there is this version where I'm like, you got to kind of keep him involved.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's important to be delicate with like the cheating stuff because that is like the gravest sin.
In
right?
chess,
like,
yeah.
It is like if comedy is like joke stealing, like chess is like you cannot cheat. It is like it is your whole credibility.